Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth. I'm Elizabeth, your hostess, and tonight we're going to talk about the best foods in the world for you. And I have quite a list, but first I want to talk a little bit about awareness. This week, I had all the clients fill out what happened on Monday. Just to write down, we said the biggest lie you tell yourself is that you don't have to write it down. It just is I myself, same thing. You do have to write your food down. Okay, so I gave everyone paper and pencil and had them write down. You would not believe the number of calories. Now, these are people who are trying to lose weight. So now they're like 2,400, 2,500 calories. You say, and you know what? The thing is when we looked at what they were eating, it wasn't like it was unhealthy. Not everything, a lot of it was unhealthy. Okay, let me take that back. But some of it wasn't unhealthy and is on this list. But just one of the things that are on this list is garbanzo beans, and they're 40 calories a tablespoon.
Wow. Oh my God.
Who eats, what is that, 7 garbanzo beans?
Well, nobody eats that.
Nobody eats that. I was absolutely, I just could not believe it. If you don't write down what you eat, you have no idea how many calories you're having. It's always a stunner. So you only have to write down what you eat on the days that you want to lose weight. So try to keep that in mind. You only have to write down what you eat on the days you want to lose weight. That's how you have to figure it out. And then, if you don't write it down, and then you're in a state of shock by when you gain weight, you have to accept that and then go back and realize that you need to write it down. So I can't, if I stress journaling or tracking or whatever you want to call it, Dear Diary, any more than I do, it's only because it is the number one way to stay aware. Believe me, if you don't have a good Monday, right?
Yeah.
Am I right about Mondays? Aren't they always your best day?
I was thinking that's usually the best day after the weekend.
It's after the weekend. You're all about your very best food, and you're all planned and prepared, and you, of course, will write it down because you're like a little angel. You stayed between your 12 and 1,500. No, they didn't. It was 2,500 calories. That's not even maintenance. That's gaining weight. Okay. Well, I'm always telling you what not to eat, right? That's easy. Fried Oreos. What's something else you shouldn't eat?
Fried butter.
Yeah, fried butter. Come on. I know fall is coming, and fried butter is actually at the fairs. You know what fried butter is, really? It's in a roll. And what they do is they deep fry the roll, which is already about 250 calories. And they put butter inside it, so the butter just melts. You're having a buttered roll that's probably 400 calories.
It's awesome.
Never heard of
It's awesome. Well, it's butter and bread. That's a hard one to give up, butter and bread, I gotta tell you, but I'm glad you tasted it. You know what I mean? It's always nice to taste something. You should always try it if it's something that you think is gonna be your favorite. But you have to be prepared for either making up for it another time or whatever's gonna happen on the scale. You have to be prepared. So I think you should always have some of your favorite foods, but what do you think are some of the most fattening foods? Come on now, we've got fried Oreos.
donuts.
Donuts.
Cheesecake.
Donuts. Donuts. 250 calories for a donut. What do you think it is for a bagel?
400.
500 calories. And how much do you think it is for the cream cheese? Please, they lay it on like it was, it's this thick. It has to be 200 calories. You could have 3 donuts for one bagel with cream cheese. Not that I want you to eat 3 donuts, but you could easily eat 3 donuts for that. But see, the reason why people think bagels are not fattening is from the old day when it was the no-fat diets. See, this is another time when we got tricked. Not that fats are all good for you, but that's how we got tricked. If you had no fat, you were good. And what we used to do is we would get a grinder, or a Hero or Sub, whatever you call it. We would put just turkey, lettuce, tomato, hot peppers, mustard. It would be a whole grinder. We would eat the whole thing because it didn't have any fat. My whole office, we all gained between 10 and 15 pounds in 10 weeks. We all stopped that pretty quickly because that's not true. And you know what's really sad? We had a video brought in to us from Human Resources on how to lose weight on the no-fat diet. And really, so of course, see, everything in moderation. Did we have to have a 16-inch sandwich?
No.
No, but we did. And we all did. And everybody gained weight. So we have to think about that. So it's just really funny. What else do you think? Fettuccine Alfredo? Come on.
Pizza.
What?
Pizza.
Pizza. Five Guys hamburgers at 700 calories for one.
Snickers.
Wow.
Snickers bar.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Oh my God, the factory cheesecake, that chocolate tower truffle cake, 1,900 calories. You know, even if you put that in the middle of the table and split it with your friend, it's 800 calories. Do you know what you could have for dinner for 800 calories?
I had a cassata cake at a party this past week, and I don't even want to know how much.
You see, there it is right there. And you know what? It's okay that you had it. I'm not saying that. But wanting to be unaware of what you're eating calorie-wise is the big problem that a lot of us have. You didn't even want to know. It's true. I'll go out to dinner. I won't even try to figure it out. I'll just put bad dinner. I don't want to be aware that my dinner was 2,500 calories. I don't even want to think about it. So I understand what you're saying, but it's so unbelievable true. And listen, the white chocolate mocha coffee or whatever that is from Starbucks, it's 580 calories for a drink. And that doesn't have any alcohol in it. I'm like, really? Doesn't even make any sense to me. So, yeah, right. And then the last one is the Cold Stone Creamy Fudge Chocolate Ice Cake. Or, ice, like
Ice cream?
milkshake or
Oh,
something.
milkshake.
It's 830 calories. And you know, it's not that big. It's 13 ounces.
Well, that's not big.
No, that's not big.
No.
So let's talk about the food that we can eat, or that we can eat with a little bit of abandon. Not everything can you eat with abandon, because there's things like avocados and garbanzo beans that are on this list. You have to, as good as they are for you, you have to really eat them and really carefully. Sweet potatoes. That's number one in almost every list is sweet potatoes, because it's just got everything in it, every vitamin, every mineral, every wonderful thing. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, that's why I switched from French fries to sweet potato fries. No. What's wrong when they're sweet potato fries?
They're fried.
They're deep fried. You could put cardboard in a violator and it would taste like the best thing you ever had. And if they took it out and they put the amount of salt on that they put on things, you would be surprised at how that would. You think I'm lying to you, but I am not lying to you. And one of my very favorite ways to have a sweet potato is with a little of my Poison's butter, You know, because in my diet, it's 80-20. 80% is, you know, very healthy,
Healthy.
20% is poison. You just can't get away from every single thing. So I put a little bit of that cinnamon and just a tablespoon of walnuts, because they're probably 6,000 calories a tablespoon, you know, because they're nuts. I mean, nuts are on the list of good things, but
They're high
they're the
in
highest in calories. Before this meeting tonight, we found out that right after oil, it's nuts, you know, in highest calories. So, but that's a great way, and that's a beautiful lunch, a sweet potato, just by itself.
I also have been taking plain, non-fat yogurt and substituting that for cream, or sour cream, rather.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I make baked
Tastes-
potato.
I can't tell the difference.
I can't tell the difference. And if I mix it with chives or a little
Yep.
tiny bit of that ranch dressing mix, you know, the dressing mix, if you mix that in and you put it on your baked potato, oh, it's so good.
Just plain
and you know
non-fat.
what? If you put that on your sweet potato with cinnamon and a little sweetener of some sort, whatever you like, you put that on your sweet potato, I bet it would taste like, you know what it would taste like? You remember how you used to have candied yams?
Yeah.
Really, this is how you trick yourself. You all of a sudden have turned a sweet potato, very lightly done, into candied yams. So ridiculous. Mangoes, very good for you. Really, really delicious, and has so much stuff. Do you guys like mangoes?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Definitely.
really, really, really good. But you know what? I feel like either you have to be on vacation somewhere where mangoes are on the dish, or you're having homemade mango salsa, or somebody like my sister-in-law has cut it up and put it on in front of you to eat. It's not one of the things I actually buy, but I wish I did.
It's a lot of Thai food has mango in it, and that's really nice for a treat.
Yeah,
they
that's
even
just-
sell mango ice cream.
Yeah, well, now you're taking a very
I know.
healthy thing and just putting cream with it.
I know.
Again with the cardboard. Pour cream on cardboard.
I can't deny myself.
Okay, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Now you see, that would be, if you mix that unsweetened Greek yogurt with two different ways of going, is with ranch dressing, powdered ranch dressing for your baked potatoes, or chives for your baked potatoes. It's just delicious. You taste like you're having sour cream. You're not having anything bad for you. It's very good. But if you want to go another direction, you could put Fiber One cereal, and I love the description, I'll give this for you, that one that looks like cat food. Because, you know, people always say, I put granola in my yogurt. How many calories do you think is in a quarter cup of granola?
I don't know.
Like 200.
Oh, really?
We're talking about a couple tablespoons of granola. It's because that's got a lot of probably saturated fats, or it's very, very fattening. So, and what you're looking for really is the crunch in your yogurt. That's what you're looking for. So if you would put,
Rice
if you would
Krispies.
put the Fiber One in with like a tablespoon of raisins and a tablespoon of walnuts, then you mix it up with a little sweetener, whatever you might like. I like a little sugar-free syrup. They have a diabetic sugar-free syrup, and I use a tablespoon or half a tablespoon.
Rice Krispies would be good because they're sweetened a little
I
bit.
think it depends on how many calories. With Fiber One, is 60 calories for a cup.
Fiber
So
One is
you
60
cannot put
calories.
too many calories
I
in.
don't
Do
know
not
about
take it out of the
Swallow it.
container. Because then all of a sudden, you could pour as much as you want of walnuts, celery. You want it all to fit into that one little container. And now, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I take the plain yogurt and I add PB2 to it, and then a couple of nuts.
That sounds
yeah.
good.
Butternut.
That's it's a powdered peanut butter, very, very low in calories, like 40 calories
For 2 tablespoons.
For 2 tablespoons, where normally peanut butter is about 200 calories for 2
Never heard of it.
tablespoons.
Never
Yeah,
heard of
that
it.
was one I just
PB2?
PB2 is 40 calories. It's a powder. You can get it right on the top shelf
very
of
good.
most stores over the peanut butter.
And
Right.
different
Really?
brands
Yeah.
are making them now too. Jif
Yeah.
has one.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Jif does?
for it.
And
And
you
is
know,
it lower in calorie?
No, it's the same.
Oh.
if you like them, if you like it, you just mix it with water. And I like crunchy peanut butter, so sometimes when I make it, I'll add a tablespoon of crushed peanuts. And then it tastes like, now maybe you made it 75 calories, but it's not 200.
Right.
And you're still getting 2 tablespoons. So it tastes like a lot of peanut butter. And for some reason, because of its concentration, it's strong.
It's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's much better than some of the Jifs that I've tasted.
Oh, I don't like some of the regular peanut butters. I mean, there's a couple that I really love that I could eat right out of the jar. Don't let me fool you on that. But, Okay, so Greek yogurt has a lot of uses. Broccoli. Come on, who doesn't know broccoli is good for you? There's that one, better to get broccoli stuck in your teeth. Well, no, it's not that it. How does that thing? Broccoli might stick in your teeth, but it won't stick to your bottom. Only they say it another way, but I won't do that. Okay, salmon. Now, one of the girls, you see, if you are not a foodie, like some of us are foodies, we have to have variety. We like lots of variety. We love our food. But some of us, we just need a plan. One of the girls that's lost almost 30 pounds, she eats salmon almost every night. She's lost 30 pounds in a little over a year, actually about a year and a half. Now, I know that sounds slow, but this is a woman who doesn't have the 4 ounces or 5 ounces of salmon. She has a big piece of salmon. And in the summer, she has milkshakes, even though we've told her it's 800 calories. She'll still have the milkshake. But she took her time. She believed that you don't diet, you edit. She was never going to give up those milkshakes. She was never going to give up that salmon, so she had to make everything fit into the program for her. She didn't diet, she edited. So that's what she did. But it is so good for you with all that, it's so good for your skin. Come on, look. Okay, garbanzo beans. I'm so disappointed in garbanzo beans. I can't even believe it for 5 seconds.
I think it's all beans though. Beans are high calorie.
I know they are. The thing, everybody always, they're in the big hummus craze, okay? And you're like, but hummus, if you use crackers, or like a lot of people say, oh, but I only use 15 Fritos. Well, 15 Fritos turned out to be almost 200 calories. It was a lot. But hummus itself, I don't know how you measure out 2 tablespoons. Honest to God, I really don't. And that container, that's about like this, which really is very, very shallow, is 500 calories.
Wow.
And if you get the white bean hummus, which I absolutely love, of course, it's 900 calories. So even if I was being super good, because it would be super good of me that if I only ate a half of it, it would still be 450 calories. So, right? And then what am I going to eat it with? Celery sticks, carrots.
Cucumbers?
Cucumbers might be a really nice one. Carrots would be a good one, the little crunch.
I like squash.
Squash would be a great one.
I like the yellow squash.
Yeah, I
It's
do
nice and
too.
crunchy.
Yeah, or yellow peppers.
Yeah, yellow peppers.
Or red peppers with the red pepper hummus.
Those little mini peppers are to die for.
Those little mini peppers are to die for. They really are. That is a new little thing in my kitchen. Because you could stuff that with Laughing Cow, soften those little peppers just a little bit in the microwave oven, and then put them on a sprayed pan of olive oil and put some Laughing Cow
That's
and jalapeno one. Or you can just use regular mozzarella. Put that into the little peppers, and you sort of have, and then bake them, spray them with the olive oil spray, and then you sort of have poppers. Not really, but it's sort of like you're having what are those jalapeno poppers? So delicious. And I figured it out. I had like 8 of those, and they were like 100 calories.
Wow.
Well,
That's good.
35 calories for the Laughing Cow, and please, the peppers are nothing. can't beat the peppers.
no.
And so, really
So
good.
sweet.
Watermelon, 46 calories a cup.
Wow.
That's so reasonable.
It's so refreshing in the
So
summer.
refreshing, so delicious, so good for you. It's the base of all of my smoothies. It's just delicious. And 2 cups is a lot of watermelon. And you know, they were talking about cherries today, and they were saying, well, that's the most fattening, or the highest in calorie. No, it's 46 calories of pitted cherries.
Each cherry is
No,
46.
46 calories for a cup
Oh.
of pitted cherries. No cherries. I mean, no pits. So if you just took the pits out and you made a cup of cherries, it would only be 46 calories.
That's pretty good.
That is excellent, and they're so
cherries.
darn good for you. I would think that would keep gout away, although I don't know. Butternut squash, another one. Spray it on a pan, on your cookie sheet. Get it cut off because you're sure to lose a finger trying to cut those. Well, me, I definitely, I have a lot of trouble with
It is
that.
so hard to cut.
Spray it and then just put cinnamon on it. Any other suggestions?
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup, 'cause you don't need much maple syrup, and I would, first of all, I would put those little squares into, I'd put those little squares into the microwave oven for a few minutes, then I would put them on the sprayed cookie sheet with the cinnamon, and then just before they're done, that's when I
Drizzle
would
it.
put the maple syrup on and stir it around.
Right.
Or I would take it right out and put the maple syrup on, and that way I could only use a tablespoon.
Well, the maple syrup will go further if you heat it.
Oh, then even better. So put it on only for like 5 minutes, right?
No, you just,
No, not even.
not even,
Not
like
even.
10
No.
seconds.
Because really, then you'll have to scrub a pan or throw the pan out. That's because you know how that works. So I love butternut squash. Of course, all leafy greens. Well, what a big surprise that is, leafy greens. But I did read an article this week about kale, which was a little bit of a stunner, that you can eat too much kale. And you know, when people are putting great big handfuls of kale into their smoothies, it has some chemical or something in it. Everything in moderation.
Right.
This is really honestly when it comes from, when they say kale is the best thing that ever happened, don't think the kale industry isn't behind that. It's true. It's like craisins. Oh, all of a sudden craisins are on all the salad, and you think you should be eating craisins. Those are the craisins they didn't sell at Thanksgiving. That's the only difference it is. So you have to, no matter whether it's healthy or not, you still, you have to think about it. Now, what about, still have to count the calories, no matter how we look at it. How about the lemon water? The lady that did the lemon water now, she's so on target. 30 pounds she's lost by having lemon water every morning by her bed. That's all she did different. Because what happens when you do that first thing in the morning?
You jumpstart your metabolism.
Well, they say all of that stuff. They say all these wonderful things that it does for your body. That could be from the lemon industry, but because I don't know for sure. But what do you think what does it do for you emotionally or mentally?
Wakes you up.
Certainly wakes me up, lemon water. Are you kidding me? You know what it does? It makes you aware that you're starting your day off healthy. Now, if you can't stand the lemon water, then just put it in a little green tea, and put it by your bedside, and then it's 6 ounces. You can get it down in 3 seconds. It's so easy to do. This is like a really good shopping list. You don't have to buy lemons. You could just get the squeeze lemon. I read those. What's in the lemon? It's just lemon. Even on this list, it's broccoli. As you can see, up there it is, broccoli. Here's one of my favorites, dark chocolate. Well, yeah, it's just got everything you could imagine in it that's good. It's an antioxidant. It's got potassium. It improves your mood. No kidding. Chocolate improves your mood. We didn't know that. But the good thing about dark chocolate is all the good things. Milk chocolate doesn't have all of these compounds or all these good things to it. But the problem with dark chocolate is what?
Once you start eating it, you can't stop.
There you go. Once you start eating it, you can't stop. That's the big problem with dark chocolate. Garlic, really good for you. My sister-in-law, who has the best skin I've ever seen in my life and has had 6 children and is as trim as she could be in the best way, looks absolutely positively unbelievable. She will order roasted garlic at every restaurant that has it and eats it down like nothing. She roasts garlic all the time. I don't know how she smells so good, but she does. But she has roasted garlic all the time and a lot of it. So we should really try to use fresh garlic, not garlic powder, not garlic salt, for sure not garlic salt, not, garlic in a thing, but fresh garlic. Avocados, well, of course, they're very, very, very good for you, but you also have to watch the calories. Absolutely. Potatoes, all kinds of potatoes, not just sweet potatoes, but all potatoes. That's why when somebody says, oh, I'm having sweet potato fries instead of French fries, it doesn't matter. Potatoes are good for you. Sweet potatoes it's a different thing. It's more, it's a root vegetable, right?
Right.
So is potatoes, but just so different and goes with so many things. Nuts, very good for you. All nuts are very good for you. But you should definitely try, to keep it down to a small amount, like putting in the Greek yogurt. So these are the 10 best foods: the sweet potatoes, mangoes, Greek yogurt, broccoli, salmon, garbanzo beans, sparingly, watermelon, butternut squash, leafy greens, lemons, avocados, and dark chocolate. See, there's always a little dessert at the end. Have a healthy week. See you next week.
Yay!
You know what? I wouldn't mind every single thing one of these. I will never buy a can of garbanzo beans. I will never buy 46 calories for a tablespoon. That is just ridiculous. I will figure out how to have.
You could put a tablespoon in your salad.
God, I used some.
It's good for you.
I used some
Much is a tablespoon.
self-tanning lotion on my legs.
Use a
And
big
I was wearing
tablespoon.
off, and I was
Yeah. I think it's like 10 garbanzo
I bet you it's not even.